Welcome back to Indian Trace. I'm going to tell you what, I needed to do a video of some artifacts in they're my mid-range, but top shelf in quality, but they're mid-range in terms of size points. And I'm always trying to do something unique when I do a display video. In the winter, I was hoping I would just encourage some other guys, and you guys find such great stuff, to just put up some displays of some of the artifacts you found, because I certainly cannot remember. I mean, these I haven't even looked at myself in a while. And so I put up this set, and they all come from, one little place that I hold them. It would have been like one frame worth that I hadn't really taken a look at in a little while. And I'm going to pull these out. I just wanted to do them in a unique way. See if I can get them all in here. And make a couple comments. Again, this time, if I can fit them all in there. God knows what you're going to use for probably a thumbnail or a profile picture. But as I show these, and I'm excited about it, I just hadn't even seen them in a while either. Today I went to, when I put these up, these first three, I went to the Archaic. And I have found these three at the Archaic, and you're going to see why I went back there today. I didn't find a whole lot, nothing worth filming. But check these out. And again, the reason I'm just putting this display video up, and there's some great pieces. I'll show you the bases to all of them as we go. Some good natural light. Hopefully it'll hold out. And the tips. Just going to do it this way. I remember maybe a couple of years back I did a video this way. That way, when you just click in, you're not exactly sure what the artifact's going to amount to. It just produces a little more suspense, if you will. But another reason I do the display videos is so that I can continue to do my part to support current events, to support the news, the real news, what's going on. Look at these three from the Archaic. That was a great find from the Archaic in quartz. We'll get a good look of how they can continually work quartz around here, and it's really diverse and really well worked. We'll put this in the pot. If you think that what you hear, if you do dare even tune in to MSM, which stands for mainstream media, it doesn't matter whether it's online, Yahoo feed, Google feed, they constantly bombard with headliners that are lies. Lies. It is so rich in propaganda. Did you know that? If you didn't, consider it. I don't often add, that was a great point from the Archaic. Just look at the workmanship on it. I don't often add subscriptions. Look at this. I think it's a Rowan in quartz from the Archaic. And you can see why a person would go back there. Remember, I haven't been collecting a whole long time. I would say just a little bit of time. 3 points from the Archaic. I think it'd probably be safe to assume when it comes to things that are going on politically. Brain moves, if you will, behind the scenes, because there's a whole lot going on to save the country I hope you love. A whole lot going on behind the scenes to keep this country from collapsing. And it's a young country, and it can collapse, and there are forces that want it to. Look at every nation in the world. Why wouldn't the forces want to control our lives and collapse this nation? It's just been so good, we have a hard time conceiving that. These are 2 points from the easement. I mean, I'm as deeply impressed when I see points like this as anybody. Of course, I'm just the keeper of them right now. I just happen to be the one that could save them. Couple points from the easement. Take a look at these. I'm telling you what, they speak for themselves, don't they? I mean, that Rowan alone. This one and this one from the easement. They were about 20 feet away from one another. Different days completely, but, hot spots. So, I have recently added, look at this piece. Mercy. Quartz from the easement. Recently added 3 subscriptions. And I really keep my subscriptions. I try to keep them around 30, no more, so I can really look to have quality subscriptions there if anybody's interested. As well as the links, I might try to assess 5 stories, 10, 15 stories today closely to find out what's going on from different sources. As we know, the scriptures are plain. And they say, in the multitude of many counselors, there's safety. And it's safety of understanding as well. I don't want to skip over these. This is a favorite point of mine. It's very strong and thick. Look at this quartz. Just great stuff. Now, look at this point from Stone Mountain. I think the natural light is really doing well today. I'm looking at it all through the camera, through glasses, what have you. So I would encourage you, if you want to explore the truth that you're being propagandized and lied to, if you dare listen to a Yahoo, Facebook, or any of the Google feeds, if you dare listen to any MSN, mainstream media, you're being lied to. And many Americans are waking up to that. It was proven in 2016 beginning when it's just the wake up bell hit this country. But I won't get into that right now. That was a great, unique point from Stone Mountain. Very strong. Very unique. This point, I don't even know where it came from until I take a look at it. Oh yeah, this came from Mecca. Look at that quartz. All so unique. Individual personalities. So today, on this video, you're going to find 2 of my suggestions for political interest links. I'm going to put 2 because it's just rich. There's a lot that's been happening that's really great. And somebody will say, well, geez, things are a mess. Why would you ever say that? Well, it's just unbelievable, the contrast between good and evil. And if you have good in you, if you have decency and the rule of law that you want to support, or you decide that within yourself you want to, I'll show you this whole thing because it's strong as can be. Every square inch is worked just the way they wanted it. If you are willing to reason things out, put things in the balance of justice and equality for all people, for all Americans, there's a lot of good going on. As I say often to a friend and did at church just yesterday, we had sort of a potluck. I said to him, you have to understand, when evil decides it's going to make its stand against freedom and human beings, then God-fearing, and that would be anybody who supports law and order, God-fearing people in the freedom that they support cannot be defeated. Freedom will always win. It won through so many conflicts. Look at that point. Oh, that was at Quiet Sands. Most of these I know, and I can remember the exact spot. Sort of a vein quartz. It's really great stuff. It's all translucent because it's quartz. And I don't want to go too fast in this, but I do want to give a good look and a good display. And I wonder what these 2 are, right? So consider the 2 suggestions that I make for political interest links. I think it'll broaden you. And I think that because of the gross misunderstanding that hunter-gatherers had of politics, not these Indians, because it wasn't these Indians that European conquest destroyed. Because these are the bloodline of generations and generations and generations before the historic period North American Indian. But the historic period North American Indian, if they understood politics better and they understood their own and their ability to have politics, which is shown through the Iroquois League of 5 and 6 Nations, including the Tuscarora, well, they were smart as can be. But the heavy contrast between modernity and materialism, it just wasn't going to work. But life moves on. The history of man on this earth, however long or short it's going to be. Look at that point. Found that at the plateau. Very unique. All goes in the same class in the same place. Last point, one of my first points of this whole set that I found was found at Far and Away. Just great quartz work here. So as I pan back through, for those who are lovers of the North American Indian, the artifacts, and quartz, this will be a good video for you. Sometimes I hope it's as good as getting a little trip to a museum. Because I mean, I used to just absolutely love looking in the glass and checking out the artifacts and just being just amazed by them. But then now I come to a day where I can actually keep and own them for myself. I'm still blown away. Blown away. It's crazy. So, because of that, I have to put a couple extra spoonfuls of honor in, as well as encouragements for people to study diligently their own politics, because your freedom, there are powers that look to take it away. And if you don't know it's being taken away, they like that even better. So I encourage you. Let freedom ring, even as Martin Luther King Jr. spoke about, even as Mahatma Gandhi lived for. If you're a Christian, it is the liberty in God that Jesus Christ even spoke of when he spoke of the Roman government or the Sadducees and the Pharisees. And so it's always been there. There's nothing new. But I encourage you. Think about living differently. Now, believe me, I do every day. I think about living differently every day. There's a great lineup, isn't it? One day, it'll move into a great frame. Appreciate everybody tuning in to Indian Trace. And that right there, that's Indian Trace. Hope you find